Hi guys, we are back in Moscow, and my good friend Tor and Agat, Tor is from Norway and Agat is from France, are here to visit for a week, and they'll be here for New Year's. So we're gonna show them some places here in Moscow, and we're gonna show them how we celebrate New Year's here in Russia, and yeah, so we're gonna take you along for the ride. We're just at the metro station Ploshad Revoluция, which means the Revolution Square. So there's a lot of Christmas decorations out now. Nice Christmas tree. We're gonna go over there after this, and
Christmas market. You see all those?
Yeah, all of these little booths are. This is a Christmas market, so we're gonna do some exploring. It's a little bit chilly, but it's a lot warmer than it's been recently. It's about -7 today.
Yeah, we will go to the Red Square and we will have a lunch or dinner. I don't know what's better to call it. In a like Soviet style cafeteria.
I'm loving it. Got the well, in Russia the biggest holiday is definitely New Year's. So it's definitely a New Year's spirit, you know, the New Year's. Get a nice New Year's feel, the Christmas feel. And right in front of me is the Bolshoi Theater, and I'm sure that many of you have heard of the Bolshoi Theater. It's very famous. There's ballet and opera that happens there. And a fun fact is that Bolshoi Theater literally just means big theater. Bolshoi means big. So, and it is quite big. This is an awesome Christmas tree. This is called Lubyanka, and some of the little bit of Russian traffic. There's a lot of fancy cars here. There's a Ferrari dealership right over there. We just saw hello. We just saw a police car, a Mercedes police car, and it's called Детский Мир. It's like the central toy store in Moscow, and this is the inside of Kids World, the big toy store. In Russia, they don't have Santa Claus. They have Ded Moroz, which is like Father Frost. So this is a young version of Father Frost, and he is usually with Snegurочка, which I believe that woman is representing right now. So we've gone up to the 6th floor of the Kids World, the toy store. And we'll show you a really cool thing up here. There's a theater, and obviously there's loads of toys. Yeah, here's like the concessions for the theater, and there's McDonald's. We're thinking about making a video about McDonald's in Russia, so let us know if you're interested in finding out what's unique about McDonald's in Russia. Change of plans. There is like a lookout here, like you can basically go out on the roof and see a lot of Moscow. But it used to be free, and there was never usually a line, but now it costs 50 rubles. Not a lot, but there's a big line, so I don't think we're gonna go up this time. There's also a museum of Soviet toys that's included in the price, and it's pretty cool. We've been there before. I really like all the lights. And up ahead here, that big building right there, there's a little Russian flag at the top. Well, it's probably pretty big, but from here it looks small. That is the Duma, so it's the Russian Duma. You probably heard about that in the news. Basically like the Russian Parliament. You can see some cars like with lights, like flashing lights on top. A lot of those are different government officials that drive around here. Lots of expensive cars around here too. Here are some more. Somebody thinks that they're more important than everybody else. There's one. BMW. This is how the government officials roll here. This is the traffic police. There you go. It's kind of funny because there are like so many fancy vehicles here, and they all think that they're more important than other people, so they're all trying to pass each other. Yeah. But this is actually, we're a little bit closer to the Bolshoi Theater right now. So for some reason there's a big, I don't know, a lot of things happening here. When you see license plates that say AMP, that's like the administration of the president. So yeah, there's another Audi AMP. So all of these, like we're coming up right on the Duma. So there's lots of people who think that they're really important here. So this is like the parking lot right in front of the Duma. So there's AMP. These are all like official administration of the president vehicles. Lots of them. So this is the Duma. Got a couple fancy Christmas trees and they're getting ready for 2019. Actually, also because Christmas is not as big of a deal in Russia, probably because of the non-religious Soviet Union, they call them New Year's trees actually. And Christmas, by the way, is celebrated. It's not really celebrated very much, but it is January 7th in Russia. And we just made our way to Red Square, which is right over there. The Kremlin is over here, behind these Christmas decorations. And this is Tverskaya Street. This is Tverskaya in Russian. So we are about to enter the Red Square. This is right in front. This is called Manezhnaya Ploshchad, right? And yeah, so this is a very, very famous place that everybody comes to visit. A lot of times before I'd been to Russia, like you heard about Red Square, like I'm sure a lot of you had, but I had no idea what it is. This is a very popular place where people stand in the middle and they throw a coin over their shoulder for good luck, and then other people tend to go around picking up the coins. This guy's actually got this like stick with a magnet on it that he's using to collect the coins. And I've seen the people collect coins before. When there's foreign coins, they're pretty good at recognizing that that's not a Russian coin and it won't be very useful to them. There you go. Cool. So, and this is basically the entrance to Red Square. So Red Square is, well, it's not square, it's more rectangular. It's called red because the word krasnaya in the old Russian language used to mean like beautiful. So it's like the beautiful square. So this is what you see when you go out to the Red Square. To the left here is called GUM. It's just a big mall with really fancy stores for the most part. And there's also a really cool, this Soviet style diner that is in there, and we're gonna go there. And behind all these decorations over there, we'll show you, it's St. Basil's Cathedral, and to the right is the Kremlin. And over there is Lenin's body, which is also a tourist attraction where you can actually see Lenin's body laying there. This is called Nikolskaya Street. This was really popular during the World Cup. There was always lots of football fans here, soccer fans. And there's actually, right now, it's for the winter, there's a temporary skating rink here on Red Square. Yeah, here is the skating rink. So you can actually skate right here on Red Square in the winter. It's temporary, of course, right in front of the Kremlin. And another huge Christmas tree, or a New Year's tree. I like this view here with the Christmas tree and St. Basil's Cathedral over there. That's like the most popular postcard from Moscow for sure. Yeah. From Russia probably in general. It is so festive. It's really cool. I love it. There's lots of happy people. Russians in general don't tend to smile to people that they don't know, but it seems to be a little bit of an exception. There's a lot more smiles here than you usually see just in public here in Russia. And there's lots of rides here, and I think there's a little bit of a market here as well. Yeah, it looks like they're selling some food. They're really starting to do a lot of signs in Chinese in Moscow. Russian, English, and Chinese. So this is the inside of GUM, the big mall that's right here on Red Square. And here is the diner that we're looking for, right inside GUM on the top floor, number 57. So it's this sort of Soviet style. And the main entrance over here, there's a bit of a line, but it's a little bit better than I expected, to be honest. So it looks like this, just this cafeteria style. And they serve the food. You just go along the row here and ask for what you want.
Yeah, and those are salads and...
Yeah, there's salads over there. So the whole atmosphere is sort of typical Soviet diner, but more of like a fancy diner. This isn't like a factory diner.
With a nice view.
Yes, a view. Yeah, you can sort of see the Christmas lights out the window. And maybe I'll just show briefly what we got. This is liver with mashed potatoes, bread for the soup. This is just chicken noodle soup. We got borscht, and this is like a beetroot salad with walnuts, right? Then I don't know what you got.
Aubergine with cheese and garlic.
Okay.
With poppy seeds.
Okay. And the same potatoes with the liver, and then this is olivier, right?
Yeah,
This is a Russian salad. Then we have that looks like egg with caviar, and then there's also some salmon, I think.
Yeah.
And rice with meatballs, I guess. Some sweet and sour or something. And this is cranberry drink. This is a dried fruit drink called kompot in Russian. Pretty good food. I was pretty impressed by the food. Really busy spot. Another Christmas tree here inside, and lots of people taking pictures around it. Nikolskaya Street. It's cool how these lights go on like forever. Oh, they just start over here, but they go on really far that way. And there are some street musicians. I thought this was funny that he's got his bank card number right here on this white piece of paper. Here is Park Zaradya. It's a new park. It's I don't know. It's I think less than a year, maybe a year old. And there's a really cool view. There's this sort of, it's not a bridge, it just sticks out here. I guess it's a bridge, but it doesn't take you anywhere, just here and back. And you can see the Moscow River with a bunch of ice in it. And this is one of the 7 sisters. There are 7 buildings that look just like this in Moscow, including the Moscow State University. And over there you can again see the Kremlin. And let's go over here and see what you can see from this angle. Also the ice. Nice. So now we are back on Red Square. So there are lots of little kiosks with souvenirs and food. Mostly food, I think. Yeah, there's definitely souvenirs. So it's a little bit harder to get around the Red Square because there's a lot of stuff in the middle of it, but this is the other side of the Red Square. So this is Lenin's mausoleum. So this is where you can come and see his dead body. That's a little bit weird when you think about it, in my opinion, but that's how it is. And then you have St. Basil's Cathedral again here. So usually, like, oftentimes there are a lot of events here on Red Square, but like most of the time it's just empty like this. Like the whole square is just open. I don't even know how to comment on these lights, but there's another Christmas tree. This is also, I think we saw this from another angle, but this is right in front of Red Square. So now we're gonna go home. I think we're all a little bit tired. I gotta record the audio for this part separately because it was pretty noisy in the metro, but at this station, it's called Ploshchad Revolyutsii, like Revolution Square, and there are multiple statues, and it's tradition that people touch the mouth, the snout of the dogs, and there's more than one with dogs, and yeah, if you just stand there for a while, you can just see dozens and dozens of people walking by and touching the snouts of the dogs for good luck. It's like a huge advertisement on this boat. I've never seen that. Like a massive screen. We are now in Gorky Park. It's a new day. That's why it's sunny again. Well, sunny. This is Moscow sun. Yeah, the winter is usually pretty gray. This is what the sky usually looks like. And it'll get dark very soon because it's like 3 p.m.
Brighter because of the lights.
It's not actually 3 p.m. It is 4 p.m. almost. But this building over here, by the way, is like the Russian kind of Department of Defense. It's kind of like the Pentagon in the U.S. And I would say this park is cooler in the summer, but it's still a pretty cool park. In the summer, you can rent like different, I don't know, like skateboards and scooters and bicycles and stuff like that. This is a pond. You wouldn't be able to tell that from the video, but there's another New Year's tree over there in front of that government building, and we are on our way to get some dinner, I guess. We had breakfast pretty late. So the coolest thing in Gorky Park is probably in the winter is the skating rink, but it's all closed. Maybe I'll try to find another video and show you. Like they put up like big walls this year, so you can't really see much of it. But it's really cool because it's not just like a rectangular rink. It's got like all these. You can kind of go down like different paths in the park, and you can rent skates here, but it only opens in an hour, and we got places to be. This is like the main entrance to Park Gorky, which is quite famous. It's in a lot of Soviet movies. And when you walk through the gates here, right over there, that big old building it's like another branch of the Tretyakovskaya gallery, the famous art gallery. It's not the main building. I like these Christmas trees. I think these are real. They're massive. So big. And this is what the entrance looks like. This is what our wonderful friends look like. How you guys liking Moscow?
We're liking Moscow a lot. There's all these things we want to do. We're trying to remember.
Yes. There's so many things to do in Moscow. It's like, it's kind of even hard to decide when you have a limited amount of time. This is a statue of Peter the Great. Also quite well known, although apparently a lot of Muscovites didn't like the way it turned out. And that factory over there is Krasny Oktyabr. It's like Red October, which is a company that makes very famous chocolate and candy here. Here are more lights. I don't know. You ever said that I should film it, but I feel like we just filmed so many lights. There's more lights. It is still Christmas time. There's some lights over here. There's some lights right here. In the very center of Moscow, everything's a little bit close. Over there is the Kremlin, Red Square right over there. This is of course the Moscow River again. There's the statue we just went by, and over there is Tretyakovskaya and Gorky Park. And there's this cool bridge that goes right over to this Cathedral of Christ the Savior, it's called. I'll show it a bit closer. I guess I'm too close to film now from the other side, but it's a huge church. We just went inside as well, but it's not, you're not supposed to film inside Orthodox churches. There's a little bit further away again. You can actually see the whole church in one shot. And we're gonna go to this restaurant over here. Now we're in a local chain, a restaurant chain called Teremok. And we've got a whole bunch of different crepes. These are called bliny in Russian, but basically like Russian pancakes. So all of these pancakes have different fillings.
Yeah, for example, this one has red fish, sour cream, and no, this has meat. And this had mushrooms and cheese. This is my favorite one. This has ham and pickles and onion. This has, I think this is Caesar,
like a Caesar salad kind of.
This is Ilya Muromets. This is with a typical Russian meat called buzhanina and kind of krem.
Like horseradish?
This is salmon.
Yeah, cream cheese probably, yeah. Salmon, yeah. Vareniki are like pierogis, we call them. And then this is sirniki, is what this is called, a dessert. So we've got a little bit of everything, so everybody can try.
It's called buzvar and it's very typical in Russia.
Yeah, let's drink. It reminds me of like that you're drinking at a campfire. Now we're going to a KHL hockey game. It's pretty cool because the teams are in first place and third place at the moment. The team from one of the teams from Moscow and Kazan, Akbars, team from Kazan. And KHL is basically the best hockey that's played in Europe. So it's pretty cool. I have never been to an NHL game, so this will be the closest that I've been to that. And the game is on, just started. Pretty awesome. I was just looking at some of the highest salaries in this league, and I think the highest paid player makes like 4.5 million. So it's a pretty serious league. A bunch of the players came from the NHL, so I love hockey. It's really comfortable too. These seats are really nice.
And we can show.
Oh yeah, and Tor got a jersey. See if they can focus. And Tor got a jersey. Nice. A lot of these guys actually played in the Olympics too, especially last year when the NHL didn't let their players go. Oh, there's a goal! There's also several Canadians playing on these teams, so my fellow Canadians. I don't see a lot of Canadians in Russia, to be honest. This is the Moscow Metro. And here's another station. So we actually did come to the skating rink in Gorky Park in another day. And there's a lot of people here. And the cool thing is that it's not just a rectangle, like I said. You got all these trails. So right now we're going straight, and as you can see, you can go over there, People skating over there. Just like a walk in the park, except on skates. They even have live music right now. Let's check this out. Tour. I'm really not good at stopping. I saw a sign that said fireplace, so we followed it, and there really is a fireplace. And there's several food courts where you can actually just go and eat while you're on your skates.
Hi guys, today is New Year's Eve, and this is a very important celebration in Russia. We don't celebrate Christmas like we do celebrate New Year's Eve. And you can hear some fireworks outside. And
you can see them actually, just maybe I'll run over before. There you go, a little bit. They've been going on probably for, I would say, at least 2 hours, maybe more. And it's still like 11:30, so yeah. Back to Eva.
We will have a typical Russian New Year. Actually, it's even more like Soviet New Year, but nothing really have changed much. So what we have, like this salad called Olivier salad. In many countries, people call them Russian. It's the salad is a Russian salad, but it's usually like potatoes and mayo. But here's like many ingredients, and so this is salad Olivier. It's very typical for New Year, and this is. You need to help me with the name.
This is called Sililka pod shubay. It's translated literally as herring under a fur coat.
Yeah. Also, this red fish is very typical, and caviar on bread with the butter. Mm-hmm. And there are some things which are not typical for a Russian table. For example, this salad is also typical, but it's kind of like I don't know, the upgrade. It's called Damsky caprice, so we can translate. But this is totally upgrade from Canada. Before I met John, we didn't have this on our table. So those are vegetables with a dip sauce.
Yeah, I made ranch dressing.
And also this thing, you can't find this in Russia. It's eggnog. And John, he cooked this. He bought lots of eggs and cream and
nutmeg
other stuff.
And yeah,
and it's like it tastes like exactly like eggnog in Canada. And also these cheese and honey and nuts. Mm-hmm. It's not so typical, but I just put it. I love cheese and.
Yeah, and we have some different meats, and this is compote.
Compote, yes.
It's basically juice made by boiling fruits or berries, and so this one is just with berries and sugar. Yep, it's a really common drink in Russia.
And also we have presents, so we don't give presents on Christmas, we give presents on New Year's Eve. And you can see our Christmas tree, lots of presents for... Yeah, it's almost like Christmas in Canada. I don't know what I should tell to foreigners about New Year's Eve. And yeah, so when it's middle night, when it's 12 p.m. a.m. Many people, they watch president's speech, then they... the clock starts doing bam bam bam, then people drink champagne or juice or anything else if they don't drink alcohol, and they make a wish, and then the president's speech starts, and people usually watch this. And then people start to share different gifts, and then the warm food starts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, because this is cold one, and we have a duck.
Yeah, we cooked a duck today.
And potatoes. So
we don't say a duck. Well, you can say a duck.
I should take potatoes out of my
of the oven. Yeah. So yeah, after all, we open gifts. I guess that's when we start to eat the warm food. I'm excited. It is almost New Year's. That's the Kremlin. Most people in Russia, whether they like the government or not, they watch the president's speech at midnight. And this is like a very traditional, very old, what do you call this? Like introduction, whatever.
The speech is before.
So I guess, yeah, it's actually before midnight.
Yeah, that's fine.
And at the same time, there are just tons of fireworks. I can't see all of them, but you can hear that they're all over the place. Oh, there's some more over there.
So now it's actually New Year and many fireworks, and Russian anthem is playing.
Oh, great.
And you can see like from many spots. Yeah. Woo.
We're at the Sheremetyevo airport. Tor and Agat are leaving us. after a very quick week. Time flies. So Tor and Agat are finally leaving. Passport control's over there. We'll miss you guys. Bye bye. Ciao. So we're gonna take car sharing. I don't think we've talked about it on our English channel, but like all these cars are car sharing. And right now, for some reason, there's a really good deal. I think because there's too many of them right now. These cars are 4 rubles per minute. And there's Mercedes, maybe that one. That's 6 rubles per minute at the moment. It's very, very, very cheap. If there were 4 people, it would definitely be cheaper for us to travel this way than any other way. But even with the 2 of us at this rate, like to get back to the metro, it's like maybe a few cents more than if we took the bus, which would take like 3 times longer. So it took us a while, but we finally found our car. The license plate number is at the bottom here. And yeah, you just do a walk around, make sure that everything's okay. If there's any damage, you just take a picture. Like maybe we'll take a picture of this thing. It's just a little scratch though.
But it's better to take a picture.
And we will be on our way.